Hey everybody, welcome back to our Arduino and Smart Robot Kits tutorial series here for programming. So what we're going to do today is we're going to start to build kind of a base starter program that you can use to get your program started to complete any of the challenges. And what we're going to do is we're going to layer things in a little bit at a time so you can kind of see one thing work at a time. And then just at the end, by the time we have a couple of these done, you're going to have a base kind of template that you can start using to actually accomplish some of the challenges and just kind of set it up in a way similar to what you might see like in First Robotics with some of the code that you would write for that. So let's go ahead and start our new file. So up at the top here, we're going to do File and we're going to do New. And you'll come up with this blank sketch. They always kind of come up with Sketch December 2, whatever. That's kind of their naming convention. And what we're going to do first is we're going to save this file. And what we're going to do this is you should have on your PC, you should have a spot where you put all your stuff. Mine is Documents and Arduino. So I have a couple of things in here already. So what you're going to do is you're going to call this Robot Starter. And if you save that, it's going to do a couple of things automatically for you. But now what you have is kind of a blank slate to work from. So you have your setup and your loop. So remember, the setup is that first part where you run code once, and then the loop is going to be that iterative portion where it runs over and over till the end of time. So we can put some comments. We'll put some comments up in there in some of the next videos. I just kind of hit enter because I don't like things touching the top of the screen. I have many issues in life. That's one of them. So what we're going to do first is we're going to set up a way that we can communicate with our robot back and forth just to get a little bit of feedback. We're going to get feedback in a number of different ways. We're going to use our sensor to get some feedback. But in this, we're going to set up our kind of debugging process with the serial monitor. So the serial monitor, in a lot of programming languages, you have a console or a terminal that you can get some feedback through. In Arduino, this is called the serial monitor. So for the serial monitor, what we're going to do is we have to set it up first. So first off, we have to begin communication. So in our setup, it's also important to make sure that your code lines up. So we have our curly brackets here. Let's put a couple of enters in the middle of our setup so we don't accidentally delete the closing bracket. As a matter of fact, why don't we comment this one? So, and then we'll put the close of our loop down there too. So it's important, I think, to comment some of these things up. It's really easy to accidentally delete things, and deleting one of these curly brackets will make your program fail and it will be frustrating for you. I can spell, really, I can. So we have these comments right here to signify that that's the close of our setup and this is the close of our loop, just to make sure that things don't get deleted along the way. So let's go ahead and now start our serial communication. So what we're going to do is we're going to begin our serial monitor. So we have our serial monitor. We're going to begin. And what you have to do is you have to specify a baud rate. Don't ask me to explain what that means, but you just have to make sure that this number here is something that we can read. And then make sure that you end your line with a semicolon. Every line of code for Arduino has to end in that semicolon, just like it does in Java and probably lots of other different languages, not Python, but that's a different story. So, and then what we're going to do is we're going to print a line. Serial print ln means print a line. And I do this in the setup. The setup is really just to make sure everything works. So we're just going to print a line that says serial is working. So just to make sure that the communication to and from actually works out, we're going to test it out. So now, what's wonderful about this is that you actually don't need to do anything with the robot. This is all actually on the computer. And of course, you do have to have your robot hooked up to make this work. And like always, you have to have your port selected. So we selected our COM6 or whatever port yours was on. We double checked to make sure that our board info says that there is an actual board connected to that. And once you upload, you should say upload. It should be, you have that nice success message. Now, nothing exciting happens, but the serial monitor should be up in your top right here. This is your serial monitor, and what that'll open up is this thing right here, and you should print one line that says serial is working. So what this does is this monitors, this is communication to and from the Arduino right here, this line printed from the Arduino back to the computer for debugging purposes. Now let's go ahead and write just a quick test. We'll probably delete this code in the next one anyways, but let's just go ahead and test just so you can kind of see the iterative nature of the Arduino. What we're going to do inside of our loop is we're going to go ahead and I'm a copy paste fan. So we're going to go ahead and paste our serial.println into our loop. And as opposed to saying serial is working, what we're going to do is say, I'm in a loop. And here's what I want to show you. So we talked a little bit about delay. And if you upload this, watch what happens. So your serial monitor here, it just keeps going and going and going and going and going. It's craziness. So we don't necessarily want it to print like every 20 milliseconds. So what we're going to do is we're going to add a delay. We'll just put that 1 second, or remember it's in milliseconds. So 1 second is 1,000 milliseconds. So once we do that and we upload, what you should see is something a little bit more reasonable. So our working, and every second is going to print, I'm in a loop. Perfect, just like it should. Now, troubleshooting a little bit. That baud rate that we said, that 9600, right down here at the bottom, you can see that there's a whole bunch of different ones that you can select. 9600 is kind of the most common. So, I just changed the baud rate, which is why serial is working printed again. So that our program actually just reran the setup, you can see. So the important thing is whatever you put in the parentheses over here is what you have to specify in this selector. Otherwise, your communication is not going to work. So that's the serial monitor. And this is the start of our base robot program. So go ahead and save this one. And what we're going to do now in our next video is we're actually going to kind of make the wheels move a little bit. And I'm going to give you one of the sample programs and I'm going to show you how to make it usable in a way that's going to help you write your code. So we have our communication. We have, you notice our LED is not blinking on our robot. If I cut over to the robot real quick, you'll notice our LED is not blinking because we didn't set that built-in LED to do anything. But now we have the base of what we're going to do. In the next video, we'll continue on and write some code to make our wheels move. I think I said that last time too. Sorry, I guess I was kidding. But coming up next time for sure, wheels are moving.